Cut, Cut in God's City. Chapter 1, Contemporary Iranism. Contemporary Iranism. What is it? Before I start to talk about contemporary Iranism, it's maybe important. Why am I talking about that subject? First of all, because I'm doing that, but there is much more to it. Contemporary Iranism is a term. No, let me say Iranism is a term, is an antonym to fake terms like Islamic arts or Orientalistic culture, art, whatever, which doesn't have any real base in the real life. Let's get real and talk about real things. What I try to do in this movie I'm making is take you somewhere to a place which you haven't experienced yet. I want to let you be part of this. I want you to be in this with me. Let me show you. It is written in a lot of old texts and prayers of the survived Iranians that they prayed and they knew that someday the god of war, Beretrakna, he will come as a king. He will come as a king, and the god of war will destroy that demon, that white thief, the seventh demon and the toughest of them all. The god of war, the god of war will come back to the Holy Land. The god of war will come as a king. of the king, Veretragna, will be the end of those demons. The god of war, Veretragna, is working with the goddess of love, with Mitra. They cooperate together again, god of war and the goddess of love. An old goddess, goddess of fertility, goddess Anahita. Mitra, goddess of love, and Veretragna, the god of war. Will bring Anahita back again. Goddess of fertility was never gone, but it was an oblivion. Anahita, goddess of all flowing waters, goddess of fertility. And just loyal to the love and free from this world and beyond. Minavi Kharat is a book written in Middle Persian and some of it in Old Persian Avestic language. In this book, a wise human asks some questions from Minavi Kharat, which is translated spiritual intelligence. Minavi Kharat, or spiritual intelligence, is one of the most important books of the Zoroastrianism. At the end, the body will be gone, and what stays is the Ravan in Persian language, flowing psyche, or what is called in other beliefs ghost. The flowing psyche remains, and the body will be gone, and everyone need to suffer for that flowing psyche and has to know what is goodness. Because if the goodness of the people is not conscious, it is less good. The mendacity, the falseness, if it's done unconscious, they will carry that with themselves. The mendacity, which is done unconscious, they will carry. And this is how Minavi Kharat, spiritual intelligent, answer a question.
A mirror to find the lost self. A mirror to find what is lost. To find what needs to be found. A mirror, a mystical mirror. A mirror which is much more than a mirror.
Caught in God's City, Chapter 2, Mysticism. Contemporary Iranism is an antonym to terms like Orient, Islamic art, and terms which just get you reorientated into some Absurdistan. So if you don't want to get absurd and want to be real and talk about real things, let me take you through this journey. Let me take you as a companion to a journey to the mystics. to a place which just can be experienced, just can be expressed by art. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The space, the self-created space, the space I define, it changes. It changed on my journey. In this journey, I get rid of any kind of intentions and I just let me go. The space I define change by elements, sometimes figures, the space I define, it change into something new. The space, the space, the self-created space is how I start my journey to unknown. It's the space the room I need and I try to express through my paintings. The self-created space changes itself with the elements are coming to that space. The self-created space change into something new, to a space space
to be experienced.
So, what is contemporary Iranism? Before I continue talking about that, I think maybe it's important to talk about undefined definitions like art. What is art? Art in Persian language, in Middle Persian, is called honar. In Persian literature, art means a courageous act, and somehow I feel connected to that meaning. I think it is quite close to what I understand of art, a courageous act of breaking through to the other parts of your being, an act which seems to be mystical, an act of Asha, what is Asha and why Asha is that much important. Asha is the only room to grow, to become. And Asha means the most honest inclusion based on natural science. Asha is what Zoroaster talked about, and in the Zoroastrian texts, Asha is the only way on this world, it said. But what does art, a courageous act in Persian, has to do with Asha, and why? To be able to do that act, you need Asha. Everything happens in a space which is self-created. The space is self-created, it said in Avesta, the holy book of Zoroastrianism. The self-created room. In every gathering is a room created, and the elements and figures can only be something, have a meaning inside that self-defined space. That's why I start my journey with that space, with a room which has elements inside it which are different, which are self-governing, which are the authentic self, but they are playing, they are cooperating with each other in harmony. This unplanned journey, which I was talking about, has started with defining a room which changes by participating of those elements and figures. The room I defined at the beginning, it changed and it become something new. To become something new and renewing, which is called in Zoroastrianism Farashgard, is one of the basic rules of the Zoroastrianism. To renew yourself, to become something else with Asha, to grow, to be able to be in move and become something new by discovering and by collecting more knowledge. This harmonic place, this harmonic room, which is seeking, is often to see in Persian carpets. And this is where I got my inspiration from. Persian carpets or Persian gardens are showing this state of being. Place of being your authentic self. The self-discovery is the most important part to be able to participate in that system. Selves which never give up their differences, but they are by choice part of that harmonic being. Harmonic being together in a space called Shar, or city, the city of gods.
A mirror can show you much more than yourself, especially if that mirror is coming from a land which is so old, like the history, even older. That land can be a mirror for you, for me, for us. What is Iranism and what is it about? Basically, it's about the harmony, reaching harmony, self-governing different beings, cooperating in harmony with other parts, self-governing selves, voluntarily in harmony with each other. Self-governing, self-governing, equal to the goddesses and gods. In love with goddesses and gods, cooperating with each other in harmony. It's all about the composition, composing life itself, being like the life itself, being part of it. Self-revival was the first act to create motion, to create movement in a world which has forgotten to be in the permanent state of genesis, permanent state of becoming, permanent state of being in move, becoming in move, a motionless world which pretend to be different. Self-revival was necessary to go farther and help the goddesses and gods and become one of them.
And why often Persian arts are mystical, a secret hidden in the experience of your divine self and being in love with all the other goddesses and gods and be equal with gods, become one of them, is often experienced as something mystical and use different arts to express that part of the human being. There are so many phrases and so many poems in the Persian literature about this mystical state and experiencing the divine part, but there is more than that. There is things which are keeping you behind a locked door for your eyes. So it's said it needs the eye of your center, del in Persian, if you want to see, if you see with your center eye, the eye of your del, that mirror face beauty, you will witness the world in that mirror. Don't be just some black earth. Be the mirror to be in cooperation with that beautiful face.
It was a harmony with every part. Every part were in love with other parts. It was full of prosperity. And people of God's city forgot that there are others which want to destroy that open society. Others which believe in the only and lonely weak God. The others which want to destroy the harmony of the goddesses and gods. When people realized that, it was too late, and it was all gone. All gone. but something wasn't really gone, and that was the idea of Iranism. The idea of fertility.
Yeah, I was talking about mysticism in Iranian art. But before I go on with that, I think there is something I need to talk about a historical event which changed changed the way of growing, changed, or I think it's better if I say it stopped the growing of the human being, or let's say it stopped the growing of the known civilized world in the 7th century. In the 7th century, God's city was destroyed. Cut. God's city was destroyed, and the reign of Ahriman began. Soon after, the Roman Empire also fell down, and the Middle Age began in Europe for thousands of years. In the name and power Ahura Mazda and all cooperative goddesses and gods give me, I try to open that event and the reasons why it happened to that beautiful place. I talk about it and wish all the goddesses and gods be happy and enjoy my act. In God's city, before the invasion, it was everything. Everything was not only tolerated, not accepted, but it was loved by these people. They just seeked harmony with all different beings. Beings which were very different from each other. Beings which were authentic self and self-governing. Iranian in that time and before that time let everyone in. What they didn't know, or let me say, why, or let me say, what they forgot, or what they didn't recognize in some of that belief systems, some of that God was that some, not some, the monotheistic God of Abraham wasn't just different, it was an antagonistic God to their goddesses and gods. That belief system wanted to destroy every others, and that God of Abraham was weak
and a murderer of gods.
people in God's city. They were too open-minded, too loving, and didn't understand that some want to destroy them, and their polytheistic way of being, this way of cooperating, of participating in sky and on earth. They didn't understand that Abrahamistic God is there to destroy their belief system, their civilization, and their way of growing. In the 7th century, when that city was destroyed, people which believed in God of Abraham helped helped the desert people, people from the sands invaded that city, and the civilization was destroyed by some robbers. The idea of Iranism never died. People carried that in their hearts, and it was always showing itself in Iranian arts. But as a civilization, Iran was lost.
Flames never died. The idea never died. Iranism stayed alive as an idea without any supporting forces, without having any government since 7th century, any armies. And today, city of Urmazd, all the goddesses and gods they have been reborn. They never died, but it was an oblivion. And that situation has changed and is not stoppable anymore. Silent, tell us more. Sometimes
Everything starts with a choice. It's a decision to be born. Decision is the base for everything, and the birth starts with a decision in Iranism. Four o'clock in the afternoon, I was born. And in this afternoon, I learned for the first time what is the meaning of life and death. I came out and opened my eyes to a new outside of my mom. I was walking on the valley of life and looking for some answers. Answers to the origins of love and when it all started. Maybe it was a time when I still was in my mom and waited to get out. Yeah, I got out. And when I got out, I started to listen to my mom. Listen to my mom, later to my dad, to my grandma, and everyone. Until I started to listen to myself. If the solution is abstract, I stayed loyal to my way and to my authentic soul. Even the way wasn't easy to pass. And I reached an old goddess called Anahita. Anahita, goddess of fertility. And I just love her like all the other goddesses and gods. Goddess Anahita. I stayed in Anahita's garden for a while and I enjoyed being there in her presence. But after a while, I thought of continuing my way and I wanted to meet the god of war, and Anahita showed me the way.
self-governing is Shahrivar. Shahrivar is month of the king. The king of the sun. King of the self. Self-governing is a state to reach. State to reach before you meet Veretragna, the god of war.
I continued my way and the path Anahita showed me until I met Veretragna, the god of war. He was looking at me and I at him. I don't know
how long we were looking at each other, but somehow I felt connected to, like with all other goddesses and gods. Mitra, goddess of love, Mitra, come out and join other goddesses and gods. Let's create the Urmast city again. Mitra, goddess of love, she gave me an apple of knowledge. She told me to go the path of love. Not said, not said. A lot was not said. A lot was not said about Amor, about eternity. A lot was not said about everything. But maybe the language can't speak. I wish the language could find a way to speak of things which don't let us fly, things not said, not said.